analysis. We have discussed about what is utility, what are its features, types of utility, the concepts, the relationship. In the previous lecture, recently we have discussed about the law of diminishing marginal utility and its assumption. Today we will discuss about the criticisms of the law of diminishing marginal utility. Before starting with the criticisms, let's have a review on the law of diminishing marginal utility. So the topic name is law of DMU. What is law of DMU? The law of DMU is nothing but its full form is diminishing marginal utility. So the law was first stated by Professor Gossin. Therefore, it is said to be a law. It is said to be the Gossin's first law. So the law was first stated by Professor Gossin and said to be a Gossin's first law. Once again, the Professor Gossin's the law of DMU was first stated by Professor Gossin and said to be a Gossin's first law. Then it was further explained by Professor Alfred Marshall. Who explained this? Professor Alfred Marshall. In the books of Principle of Economics, he explained in his books of Principle of Economics, year 1890, which was the book who has further explained Professor Alfred Marshall in his books of Principle of Economics. Who first stated the law? Professor Gossin first stated the law. Therefore, it is said to be a Gossin's first law. And then it was further explained by the Alfred Marshall in the books of Principle of Economics. According to the Alfred Marshall, what he has stated? Law. According to the Alfred Marshall, other thing remaining constant. What are these other things remaining constant? We will discuss on it. What we have stated, other thing remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives. The additional benefit that which a person derives from given increase in the stock, from given increase in the stock of thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. What does this mean? See, once again I have mentioned the law on the board. Other thing remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives diminishing with every increase in the stock that he already has. That means the additional benefit when a person is going to derive means once he had the first commodity, after that one more commodity when it has been added, its utility goes on diminishing. Why it goes on diminishing? Because that stock is he already have it. So in simple words we can say that whatever the additional benefit that a consumer is going to derive from an increase in the stock is going to diminish with every increase in the stock that he already has. So what it is said that in simple words, if I explain you with the schedule, if I make a schedule over here, I will give a 2 column. In the first column, units. In second column, I am going to write down the marginal utility. Suppose he has consumed apples, 6 units of apple. Suppose in the first unit he has got 8 as the marginal utility, then 6, 4, 2, 0, minus 2. What does this mean? When he consumed the first apple, he has got maximum marginal utility, the highest marginal utility. From the second unit, because his stomach is almost full, from the second unit 6, then it keeps on going lesser and lesser. One point it would be when it would be 0. That point is said to be a point of satiety. That place is said to be a point of satiety. After that, if we consume, it becomes negative. When the marginal utility becomes 0, that point is said to be a point of satiety and consumer is fully satisfied. If we consume one more unit after full satisfaction, it will come to the negative. So it will become the negative. So we can say that marginal utility can be positive, 0 or negative. If we explain this same in the schedule, it would be a downward slope from left to right. On x-axis, we will explain units, we will plot units. On y-axis, we will plot marginal utility. As unit increases, marginal utility decreases, therefore it is a downward slope from left to right. At unit 5, it is touching x-axis. That point is said to be a point of satiety. That means consumer is fully satisfied. After that, if he consumes one more unit, it enters the negative quadrant. So this was the law with the schedule and graph. Then I am going to explain the assumption. I'll give you some time. Then we will discuss the assumption of law. How many assumptions we have discussed? 8. Before explaining you the assumption once again in the revision, I will again give you some time to read, understand. This law was first stated by Professor Gaussen, said to be a Gaussen's first law, further explained by Alfred Marshall in the books of Principle of Economics. And according from this law, we can see that this law is trying to explain the economic behavior of rational consumer. It is a common experience that more we have the commodity, less we desire to have it. This fact is expressed by the law of DMU, which is said to be a diminishing marginal utility. It was first proposed by Professor Gaussen, therefore said to be Gaussen's first law. However, it was further explained in detail by Professor Alfred Marshall in the books of Principle of Economics in year 1890. According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remaining constant, the additional benefit which a person derives from given increase in the stock of a thing diminishes with every increase in the stock that he already has. In simple words, we can say that marginal utility goes on diminishing with an increase in the stock or with an increase in successive unit of a commodity consumed. If we explain by the schedule and graph, the above schedule and the graph, we can see that in the schedule we can see that marginal utility is highest in the very first unit, that means in the initial stage. From the second units onward, it goes on diminishing. There was a point where marginal utility became zero. When it became zero, at that point it is said to be a point of satiety. That means consumer is fully satisfied. Again, when he had more of unit of commodity, it will become negative. That means consumer is dissatisfied. If we plot the same schedule on the graph, we can see it's a downward slope from left to right. On x-axis, we will plot units. On y-axis, marginal utility. When it slopes downward, it will touch to x-axis. That means consumer is fully satisfied, point of satiety. Afterwards, it enters to the negative quadrant. Hope so. The law is very clear. Let's start with the assumptions. What are the assumptions of the law which we have already discussed? But why the economists assume certain assumptions? The reason is, friends, so that the others cannot throw stone on what the statement they have given. So, every law will start with the assumption statement that other things remaining constant. So, this other thing remaining constant means it is an assumption. So, the very first assumption is rationality. The very first assumption is rationality. What does rationality means? Rationality means, friends, that the consumer should be a rational person. In economics, rational person means his state of mind should be normal. He should not be an abnormal person. He should be proper state in mind so that he can take a proper decision on the utility. So, the first assumption is rationality. That means consumer should be a rational person. His behavior should be a rational person. His state of mind should be a rational so that he can take a proper decision. He should not be a drunkard, because during those stage of drunkard, he would be not in proper state of mind. Then the second assumption is cardinal measurement. The second assumption is cardinal measurement. What is cardinal measurement all about? Cardinal measurement means, to make the law easy to understand, the utility should be expressed in numbers and figures. It should not be in phrases, words, stanzas. It should be in numbers or in figures so that it becomes easier to understand the law. So the first assumption was rationality, second is cardinal measurement. The fourth one is homogeneity. The third one is homogeneity. Homogeneity means whatever he is consuming the commodity, it should be in homogeneous nature. That means its shape, size, structure, color, everything should be identical or same. It should not be having any difference in shape, size or structure. It should be same, identical. For example, if the consumer is having chapati, so its color, its texture, its size, its shape should be same. It should not be having difference in the unit. We have discussed rationality, cardinal measurement, homogeneity. Then the next one is continuity. The continuity means the consumer should consume the commodity, all the units, one after the other without any time gap or time interval. That means he should consume when the first chapati is over, he should consume after the first over, he should start consuming second. After consuming the second one, he should consume the third unit. It should not be that first two in morning, second two, the next two in afternoon, the other two in evening and the leftover in night. It should be one after the other. If it is in the time gap, then the law cannot be expressed true. So, we have discussed four assumptions: rationality, cardinal measurement, homogeneity, continuity. Then, the next one is reasonability. What does reasonability means? Somewhere reasonability is connected to homogeneity. But reasonability means whatever commodity that consumer is consuming should be of standard size. That means if the consumer is consuming milk, in the glass of milk, it should be glass of milk only for all the 6 units. It should not be difference. That means it should not be the first unit should be jar, second glass, third cup, tablespoon, droplet. It should not be like that. It should be of standard and identical size. Therefore, it is said to be a reasonable size. So, it is said to be a reasonability. Then, it is constancy. What does constancy means? Constancy means that the consumer habit, like, taste, preference, dislike should be constant. It should not vary. It should not change. If it changes, then like towards the every unit, its marginal utility will differ. So it should be same. And it is also said that, friends, marginal utility in terms of money is also constant. What does this mean? This means that if the first unit is of ₹2, then all the units should be also ₹2 only. Then the seventh assumption is divisibility. be a divisible one. It should be easily divisible to easily dividable so that you can consume easily. Then the last one is single bond. What does single bond means? There are many commodity which can be satisfied multipurpose. It can give utility multipurpose. But to satisfy this law, the Professor Alfred Marshall has told that whatever commodity the consumer is going to consume should be used for single purpose only. For example, if he is consuming tea, if he is consuming milk, it should be if he is consuming milk in form of tea, it should be tea only for all the units. The milk should not vary. So it should be for the single want. Once again, the very first assumption is rationality, cardinal measurement, homogeneity, continuity, reasonability, constancy, divisibility and single want. These are the certain assumptions that Professor Alfred Marshall has assumed while stating his law. I'll give you some time to have once again reading, then we will discuss about the exception. What does exception means? Exception means when law is not applicable, where in certain cases where law will not work on. So before starting with an exception, have some time to read, understand, then we will start with exception to the law. So let's discuss after the revision of the law of the AMU and its assumption. Now the today's topic is the the exception for the law of the AMU. Now we will discuss about the exception for the law of the AMU. What does exception means? As assumption supports the law, exception goes against the law. Means when law is not applicable. There are certain points, there are certain places where law does not work on. For those places, it is said to be an exception for the law of the AMU. For every law, let me tell you kids, for every law, to support the law, there would be an assumption, and where the law is not applicable, that is exception. There are certain people who will throw stones on the law, so those are said to be criticisms. So with every law, there would be an assumption, exception and criticisms. So let us see the exception which means where law is not applicable. The very first exception I would like to tell you is hobbies. What does hobbies means? The people who have the hobbies of coin collection, stamp collection, collecting rare painting, rare articles, for those kind of people, this law is not applicable. Why? Because with every increase in the stock of the commodity, its marginal utility will also increase, it will not diminish. Suppose if I am having the hobbies of collecting coins. When I am collecting coin, when the coins are being added, when the units are increasing, my marginal utility will not decrease, it will increase. So our law says that with every marginal utility will diminish with every increase in the stock that he already has. But in the case of hobbies, it is not applicable. Same way for the music also. The person who loves listening music, who loves listening music and loves to spend time on listening music, for that kind of people, every song will give him more and more satisfaction. He will love to listen and keep on going of listening. So for the people who loves to listen music, for them also this law is not applicable. Same for the people who love to read. The people who love for reading, same for them, the law is not applicable. The people who love to read books, love to read novel, loves to read stories, love to read articles, for those kind of people, especially the people who loves to read stories and novel, for those people, first episode is over, they are more desperate to know what is in the second. So they will keep on reading for knowing more and more about that story. For this all kind of people, the law is not applicable. The first one I have told you, hobbies. Second is music. Third is reading. The fourth one I would like to tell you is miser. You know what does miser means? Conjuse. The people who is कंजूस और miser, जिसको मक्खी चूस भी बोलते हैं, for those kind of people this law is not applicable. Why? Because for proving the law he has to consume more units so that he can show his marginal utility. But the people who are miser, they are not ready to spend for consuming all the units. They have to spend some money. So he is not ready. He is satisfied with the first unit itself. So he is not ready to spend for the second and third unit. So how we can prove the law? So for this kind of people also law is not applicable. The first I have told you hobbies, music, reading, misers. Before explaining you the more points, I will give you some time to understand why the hobbies, music, reading and misers are exception. Why they are not, why the law is not working on with them. The reason is because they are going opposite to the law. For example, in hobbies, the people who are having a hobby of collecting coins, stamps, painting, rare articles, for this kind of people, every increase in the stock of a thing, its marginal utility will not diminish, it will increase. With every increase in the stock of the unit, yes. Same for the music, the people who keeps on listening the music, for those people, the music lovers, for them, they will keep on listening after one music to the second, to the third, to the fourth. Their marginal utility will increase rather than decrease. Same for the reading. Then miser, conjuse, makhi choose. For those kind of people, marginal utility, they will get maximum in the first unit itself. They are not ready to spend for the second, third for proving the law, for proving the Alfred-Marshall. So for this kind of people, the law is not applicable. I'll give you some seconds, read, understand. Then we will continue with more 3 exceptions of the law. In certain hobbies like collection of stamps, rare coins, precious painting, etc., law is not applicable because every additional increase in the stock gives more pleasure, which increase mu, but it violates the homogeneity condition. Music. Some people are fond of music. It is experienced that repeating of hearing of music gives more and more satisfaction. It increases mu of music. So, the law is not applicable. However, it does not fulfill the assumptions like homogeneity and continuity. Reading. Since more reading gives deeper knowledge, a scholar may receive more and more satisfaction when he reads the various books again and again, and therefore marginal utility tends to increase. But here homogeneity and continuity conditions are not satisfied. Miser. In the case of miser, every additional rupee gives him more and more satisfaction. Marginal utility of money tends to increase with increase in the stock of money. However, the situation ignores the assumption of rationality. Understanding the exception, hobbies, music, reading, miser, let us see the more exception. The fifth one is addiction. Some people are addicted to smoking, drinking. For those people, the law is not applicable. Because especially for the drunkards, when they are in intoxication, in that state, their state of mind is also not rational. So law is not applicable over here in this case. So the addiction people who are too much addicted towards drinking, the drunkards, when they are intoxicated, during that stage, they are not rational consumers. So the law would not be applicable because they are not in proper state of mind to explain the law or to give the proper marginal utility for every unit. So therefore, it is an exception for the law. Then, power. Power. When you get more and more power, its marginal utility will increase rather than decrease. For example, a person who was working as assistant engineer, after his performance, he got promotion of senior engineer. So he must have got some power. So that power gives more utility to that person. So more the power, more the utility. It will not diminish. Therefore, it is exception for the law of the MU. The last one we are going to discuss is money. See friends, every unit of money will give more and more satisfaction. Everyone loves money. That means money has a power to satisfy various wants. With the help of money, we can satisfy various wants. So when money is increasing, the stock of money is increasing with us, its utility is increasing rather than decreasing. For example, if in this table a bunch of notes are kept, no one is here and no one is ready to take. Is it in this case, is there anyone who will not be ready to take? I will pick those note and go. I will keep in my pocket and go. Because money has the power to satisfy various wants. So more the money, more the utility rather than less the utility. But according to the law, it is said that when additional benefit which a person derives gives increase in the stock of a thing diminishes. But in all these cases, when stock of a thing increases, marginal utility is not diminishing, it is increasing. Therefore, it is exception to the law. The first one was hobbies, music, reading, miser, addiction, power and money. In your book, music and reading is not mentioned, I think so. But these are also exceptions, so you can write these 2 points also while writing down the exceptions. We'll again some time to understand, then we will start with the another topic. Addictions. It is observed in the case of drunkard that level of intoxication increase with every additional unit of liquor consumed. So, mu received by the drunkard may increase. Actually, it is only an illusion. This condition is similar to almost all addictions. However, this violates the assumptions of rationality. Power. It is an exception to the law because when a person acquires the power, he asks for the power increase. He desired to have more and more of it. However, the gain, again, it's against to the law of rationality. Money. It is said that the mu of money never becomes zero. It increases when the stock of money increases. It is because money is the medium of exchange which used to satisfy various wants. However, according to the economists, the law is applicable to money too. For example, mu of money is more to the poor person than the rich person. The last topic that we are going to discuss for today is criticisms of law. The last topic for today is criticisms of law. What does criticisms of the law means? Where when Alfred Marshall has told right, there were people who have told wrong. When he has told west, so there are people who have told east. When he has told north, so there were people who have told south. So let's see the criticisms. The very first criticism is unrealistic assumption. People have told that whatever assumption he has made, like rationality, cardinal measurement, homogeneity, continuity, reasonability, constancy, divisibility, single one, all are unrealistic. According to the others, it means that all the color of all the unit might not be same. If he is consuming apple, so there can be an apple, the first unit can be more red, the another can be little color, the reddishness can be less also. If he is consuming chapati, the first chapati is very thin, next chapati can be thick also. So this all assumption what he has made is unrealistic. So people has criticized that the very first thing is unrealistic assumption. Whatever the assumption he has made is not real. It's unrealistic. Second one is cardinal measurement. That means cardinal measurement means that it's a psychological concept. For me, it will give more satisfaction. For another one, it might not give the same satisfaction. That is the one reason. Another one is whenever the person is consuming any commodity, he will express his feelings like he felt delicious, he felt very good, he felt satisfactory, it was lovely. He will not say that I have got 10 utility, 8 utility, 9 utility. For example, suppose when you are too much hungry and when you ask your mother to provide you food, when she serves food to you, after consuming the food, you will tell your mom, Mama, it was too much delicious. But you will not tell her, I have got 10 utility in first chapati and in second chapati I have got 8, in third chapati 6. She will bring one big stick or chimta and give you nicely. Is your state of mind proper or not? Right? So, cardinal measurement is again a criticism because people will express their feelings in words and phrases, not on numbers. So, therefore it is criticized. The first one was unrealistic assumption. Second is cardinal measurement. The third is indivisible goods. Now friends, as we have seen, one assumption was that divisibility. It has criticized on that. There are certain goods which are not divisible. For those kind of goods, how the consumer will consume? Divisibility is only in the commodity which can be consumed, which can be eaten. But what about the commodity which cannot be divided? So for those commodity, law is again criticized. Then, constant marginal utility of money. Constant marginal utility of money means, friends, suppose a person who is very rich, for him marginal utility of money will not differ, it will be constant. But a person who is only earning 1000 rupees a month, for them, spending on all the 6 units, for that person, marginal utility of money might not be same. Though it is 2 rupees only for each unit. But spending one, it would be, it will give him utility, but spending on second, it might not give him. So, marginal utility of money is constant. It is also unrealistic. Then, the last one is single want. What does this mean? When people like me, whenever I will purchase a commodity, I will think that the commodity can be used in the various purpose rather than using in single purpose. Same way, the law has told that it should be a single want. It is criticized by the people. If your mom is buying a milk in a home, she is thinking that okay, she can provide you Bournvita, she can provide you coffee, she can provide you tea for your father, she can provide you shakes or juice for sweets for the relatives who are coming home. So she is thinking when she is buying one commodity, she can utilize in the various purpose, in the various wants. But the law is saying it should be used for the same purpose only. Therefore, it is criticized. The first criticism was unrealistic assumption, cardinal measurement, indivisible goods, constant marginal utility of money, and single want. Again, some time, read, then we will have a 2 minutes quick revision on exception, and criticisms. Then we'll end our session over here itself. Unrealistic assumptions. The law of DMU is based on the various assumptions like homogeneity, continuity, consistency, reasonability, rationality, etc. But in reality, it is difficult to fulfill all the conditions at the same time. Cardinal measurement. The law assumes that utility can be expressed cardinally, that is, numbers, so it can be added, compared, presented through the schedule. In fact, cardinal measurement of utility is not possible because it's a psychological concept, but it can be measured ordinarily in form of degree of comparison, higher, lower, satisfaction, etc. Indivisible goods. The law is not applicable to bulky and indivisible goods like TV, car, house, etc. It is because normally they are not purchased more than one at a time. So it is impossible to compare MU derived from the various units of such commodities. Constant marginal utility of money. The law assumes that MU of each unit of money remains constant. However, critics argue that MU of money differ from person to person. Single want. Law is restrict to the satisfaction of single want only. However, in practice, man satisfies many wants at a time. So this was your criticisms. Let's have a quick revision on today's lecture. We have discussed about the exception where the law is not applicable. So there are certain exceptions like hobbies, collection of coin, painting. In all these cases, the MU will increase, it will not decrease. Same for music and reading. Miser, conjure. The person who is miser, he will satisfy in the first unit itself. He will be not ready to spend his money on the second and third unit. Then how the law can be satisfied? Addiction, drunkards especially, when they are in intoxication time. So at that time, if their state of mind would be not normal, so they cannot give a proper MU. They can give might be higher MU. Power, the more the power, more the MU. Money. Money is the commodity which satisfies various wants. As the stock of money increases, MU will also increase. Then we have discussed criticism where people were against to the assumptions, like unrealistic assumptions. There are certain assumptions like reasonability, cardinal measurement, homogeneity, continuity, which are not real in the which are not realistic in the real life. Cardinal measurement. It is said that for making the law easy and understand, it should be expressed in numbers. But in reality, people will express in ordinal term, in higher level, lower level, satisfactory, rather than expressing in numbers. Then, indivisible goods. The goods which are indivisible like TV, car, phones, which are purchased only one at a time, which cannot be purchased again and again. For those commodities, law is again not applicable. Constant marginal utility of money. There are people that for them everyone is earning different amount. For everyone, the marginal utility is different. So again, law is not applicable. Single want. Law is against single want. Whenever a person who consumes or who buys any kind of commodity, he will think that he can satisfy all the various wants. He can satisfy all the various wants. But in the law, it has restricted to the single want only. Here we will end our session. It would be a request to read and then write the today's topic, whatever we have discussed. And if you have doubt, you can ask me in the live session.